Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We're going to seek the blessings of Radha Mother, Radha Shyam, Sundar, Krishna, Balaram, Bal, Gopal, Jagannath, Baldev, Subramani, Nrsimhadev, Bhagavan, Gauritai, Tulsi Mani, Haridas Thakur, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So yesterday actually was the appearance of Advaita Acharya, and I thought today we could just spend a bit of time understanding who is this personality, Advaita Acharya. So let's just do one thing. Pancha. He is one of the Panchatattva. And who are the Panchatattva? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar Shiva Sadigor Bhattavinda. So we take this picture. This is from the Hawaii temple. So we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then Nityananda on this side, and then this is Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is shown with a beard. He's older than all of the others. And then on this side we have Gadadhar Srinivas Thakur, Srinivas Acharya. So this is Advaita Acharya. It was his appearance yesterday. He is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Now, Madhavendra Puri is a very special devotee of the Lord. He's said to be the first in this line of acharyas who began the worship of Radha Krishna. So very powerful personality. Advaita Acharya constitutes one of the figures amongst the Panchatattva. He is a combined incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. So he's Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva at the same time, together, which is very unusual. There is a deity in Godrum, in Mayapur, which is called, what is that deity called? Do you remember? Harihar. That's right, Harihar. Half Lord Shiva and half Lord Vishnu. It's a very interesting deity. He was born in a Varendra Brahman family on the 7th day of the bright fortnight in the month of Magh, 1433. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 1486, so 53 years before he came to this world. Yeah. In the village named Loda in Srihata, and that is in, I think, Bangladesh, actually. According to Banga Bhas or Sahitya, Advaita Prabhu was born in 1434. Okay, so there's always a little bit of a debate because historical records are not necessarily kept very well. And he met Vidyapati in 1458. Advaita's former name was Kamalaksha, Kamalakanta, Veda Panchanana. His two wives were Sita Devi and Shri Devi. Achyutananda was born of Sita Devi, 1425. 1425. Oh, sorry, 1503. 1503. Followed by Krishnadas, Gopal, Balaram, Swarup, and Jagadish Mishra. While Shri Devi gave birth to one son, Shyamadas. So this is from the Prema Vilas. From Lauda, Advaita Prabhu migrated to the village of Navahata and later to Shantipur. So Shantipur is a place that we have been many times. It's on the way from the Kolkata airport to Mayapur, near Mayapur. And it's still preserved, that place where he lived, the deity he worshipped, especially the Shaligram, the Nasingha Shaligram he worshipped. In order to call Lord Chaitanya to this world, he would worship this Shaligram, shouting loudly, forth, begging the Lord to come. So he also had a house at Navadvip in 1558 at the age of 125. Yeah. 25 years after the disappearance of Lord Gauranga, Advaita Prabhu returned to the spiritual world. So he stayed a long time in this world. Mahaprabhu only stayed 48 years, but Advaita Acharya, he stayed 125. According to Prema Vilas, Advaita Prabhu was born in Shantipur. So again, there's a little difference in opinion. I always thought actually that he was born in Shantipur, but he studied the Vedas and other scriptures under a scholar named Shantacharya in Pulavati village near Shantipur, where he was awarded the title Acharya. That's why he's known as Advaita Acharya. The genealogy of Advaita Prabhu can be found in Premier Vilas 24. To verify the meeting of Advaita with Vidyapati, it is known that in 1330 or 1408, Vidyapati received the endowment of Bishapi village from Shiva Simha. Vidyapati was born around 1385 and was a contemporary of Chandidas. Vidyapati mentions their meeting one another in songs he composed in 1403. One manuscript of the Bhagavad, which was copied by Vidyapati, is still available. Carries the date of copying as 1457. Evidence shows that Vidyapati was alive until 1479. In 1485, Advaita Prabhu, at the age of 52, arrived at the room where Lord Gauranga was born. Much earlier, he undertook a pilgrimage. Hence, his meeting with Vidyapati should be taken as a fact. So this author actually is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. His name is Nandanandan. His Kami name is Stephen Knapp. And actually, he's a renowned author. He does quite a lot of good research. So he's a very competent personality. Anyway, the glories of Advaita Prabhu this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj and the purports by Srila Prabhupada. So, one of the things which Advaita Acharya did, he realized in this world, nobody could save, even though he was Mahavishnu and Shiva, nobody can really save those people in Kali Yuga and give them what what Krishna can give them. So he called Lord Krishna to appear in this world for us. This is his great compassion. Great compassion. In the house of Advaita Acharya, all the Vaishnavas took pleasure in always talking of Krishna, always worshipping Krishna, always chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Advaita Acharya Prabhu felt pained to see all the people without Krishna consciousness, simply merged in material sense enjoyment. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. A bona fide devotee of Lord Krishna is always pained to see the fallen condition of this whole world. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to say, there's no scarcity of anything in this world. The only scarcity is of Krishna consciousness. This is the vision of all pure devotees. Because of this lack of Krishna consciousness in human society, people are suffering terribly, being merged in an ocean of nuisance and sense gratification. A devotee onlooker is very much aggrieved to see such a situation in the world. So if one has this mood that I want to spread Krishna consciousness, I want to spread this knowledge about the Supreme Lord, because of the scarcity of that knowledge in this world, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that Mahaprabhu will become very pleased, because this is the biggest suffering in this world, the lack of any God consciousness and the promotion of sense enjoyment. Seeing the condition of the world, he began to think seriously how all these people could be delivered from the clutches of Maya. Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu thought, if Krishna himself appears in order to distribute the cult of devotional service, bhakti yoga, then only will liberation be possible for all people. This is kindness. So the purport by Prabhupada, just as a condemned person can be relieved by the special favor of the chief executive head, the president or king, so the condemned people of this Kali Yuga can be delivered only by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, or a person specially empowered for that purpose. Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu desired that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Advent himself to deliver the fallen souls of this age. Of course, as Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, he had immense power. He has immense power. But still, he wanted this special mercy to be given through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to those in Kali Yuga. And what is this special mercy? It is this prema bhakti, which no other personality can give. This is what is the speciality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So text number 7071 in this Chaitanya Charitamrita. With this consideration, Advaita Acharya Prabhu promising to cause Lord Krishna to descend, began to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna with tulsi leaves and the water of the Ganga. By loud cries, he invited Krishna to appear, and this repeated invitation attracted Lord Krishna to descend, which he did as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Lord is very easily pleased. He simply some tulsi leaves and Ganga jal. But what he really was pleased by was the loud cries from the heart of Advaita Prabhu. So this is from now Adilila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Text number 4 to 13. This describes a little bit more technically who is Advaita. Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. Because he is none different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. Advaita means one with. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord incarnation, an incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore, I shall take shelter of him. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj writing. Advaita Acharya is indeed directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. His glory is beyond the conception of ordinary living beings. Mahavishnu performs all the functions for the creation of the universes. Sri Advaita is his direct incarnation. So, that Purush form of the Supreme creates and maintains with his external energy. He creates innumerable universes in his pastimes. By his will, he manifests himself in unlimited forms in which he enters each and every universe. Advaita Acharya is a plenary part of that Purush and so is not different from him. Indeed, Advaita Acharya is not separate but is another form of that Purush. Advaita Acharya helps in the pastimes of the Purush, with whose material energy and by whose will he creates innumerable universes. Being a reservoir of all auspicious attributes, Sri Advaita Acharya is all auspicious for the world. His characteristics, activities, and name are always auspicious. Mahavishnu creates the entire material world with millions of his parts, energies, and incarnations. We don't have a clue how this world functions, let alone the spiritual world. But it is such a monumental task which the Lord initiates, how everything interacts in order for us to have 2 bits of chapati on our plate every day. Just as external energy consists of 2 parts, the efficient cause, nimitta, and the material cause, upadana, Maya being the efficient cause and Pradhan, the material cause. So Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of God, assumes two forms to create the material world with the efficient and material causes. So this is quite technical. Lord Vishnu himself is the efficient nimitta, cause of the material world, and Narayan in the form of Advaita is the material cause, Upadana. Lord Vishnu, in his efficient aspect, glances over the material energy, and Advaita, as the material cause, creates the material world. So I think this is where we have Advaita as the combined incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Although Sankhya philosophy accepts that material ingredients are the cause, the creation of the world never arises from dead matter. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with his own creative potency. Matter is just dead. It needs something to, needs this ingredient, which is the Lord's creative process, to make it happen. Then by the power of the Lord, creation takes place. In the form of Advaita, he infuses the material ingredients with creative energy. Therefore, Advaita is the original cause of creation. Sri Advaita Acharya is the creator of millions and millions of universes, and by his expansions as Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he maintains each and every universe. Sri Advaita is the principal limb, Anga, of Narayan. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of limb as a plenary portion of the Lord. So, this is the vastness of the Lord. We have originally Krishna, from whom Balaram comes, from whom the first Chaturvyu comes, and then we have Sankarsan. No, who is it? From Sankarsan, the second Chaturvyu comes, and then Narayan comes, and then we have the three Vishnus. So we can see there's quite a gap between Krishna and Karandakshay Vishnu, Mahavishnu. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not therefore my father, Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water, born from Nara, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental, they are absolute and not creations of Maya. This verse describes that, this is from the Bhagavatam, that the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with the material energy. Why has Sri Advaita been called a limb and not a part? The reason is a limb implies greater intimacy. Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord, as he has formerly created all the universes. Now he descends to introduce the path of Bhakti Yoga. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam in light of devotional service. So this is text number 28 of Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the purport, Srila Prabhupada. Let's skip some of this. Advaita Acharya is specially intended to teach the conditions of about devotional service. The word Acharya means teacher. The special function of such a teacher is to make people Krishna conscious. Bona fide teacher following the footsteps of Advaita Acharya has no other business than to spread the principles of Krishna consciousness all over the world. So the real qualification of an Acharya is that he presents himself as a servant of the Supreme. Such a bona fide Acharya can never support the demoniac activities of atheistic men who present themselves as God. So many people in this world They will try to fool others. I am God, I can do some magic. And unfortunately, people become cheated very easily. But we should understand that Acharya means one who teaches, one who spreads the message of God. So text 29 to 33. Since he had no other occupation than to teach devotional service, his name is Advaita Acharya. He's a spiritual master of all the devotees and is the most revered personality in the world. By a combination of these two names, his name is Advaita Acharya. Since he is a limb or part and part of the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, he also bears the name Kamalaksha. So Kamala is lotus, and lotus-eyed Kamalaksha. His associates have the same bodily features as the Lord. They are all four-armed, dressed in yellow garments like Narayan. Sri Advaita is the principal limb of the Supreme Lord. His true name and attributes are all wonderful. So this bit we've sort of covered. The devotees headed by, let's do this bit. Sri Advaita Acharya is a principal limb of Lord Chaitanya. Another limb of Lord Chaitanya is Nityananda Prabhu. Now, Nityananda Prabhu's appearance is on Monday. Very auspicious day, Nityananda Triyodasi. The devotees headed by Srivas are his smaller limbs. They are like his face, his hands, faces, eyes, and his disc and his other weapons. With all of them, Lord Chaitanya performed his pastimes, and with them he spread his mission. Thinking that he, Advaita Acharya, is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Chaitanya obeys him, respecting him as a spiritual master. So this is an interesting point. Madhavendra Puri was the guru of Advaita Acharya and also Ishwara Puri. And Ishwara Puri was the guru of Lord Chaitanya. Of course, Lord Chaitanya needs no guru, but he accepts a guru. And so, per that etiquette, he would regard Chaitanya and Advaita Acharya as his guru. And he was always very gentle and humble before Advaita Acharya. However, Advaita Acharya considered Lord Chaitanya his master, and he thinks himself as a servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He forgets himself in the joy of that conception and teaches all living entities. You are the servant of Mahaprabhu. So sometimes Advaita Acharya would cause a little bit of mischief. He would say, Advaita, I am, the living entities is one with Krishna, is one with God. One living entity can become God. And that would make Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very angry on Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya would love that anger because he didn't want to be respected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to be his servant. So sometimes he would do things which would cause Lord Chaitanya to become so-called angry at him. And Advaita Acharya had an amazing relationship with Nityananda Prabhu. One time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took in sannyas, they met at Advaita Acharya's Prabhu's home. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was tricked into going into his home. And there they had a feast. Sita Devi, the wife of Advaita Acharya, cooked a wonderful meal. And they fed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, no, this is too much prasad. Take it away. I don't want so much. I'm a sannyasi. On the other hand, Nityananda would say, hey, this is nothing. This is like a morsel of food. I was so hungry and now you're giving me a little bit of food. What is this? And they would tease each other. They had such an amazing relationship. And Advaita Acharya would say, hey, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would say, you are the Supreme Lord. As Jagannath, you eat, chapan bhog. This is nothing. And to Nityananda, Advaita Acharya would say, stop complaining. You got so much. You're supposed to be a renounced person. So don't complain that you haven't got enough food. So in this way, they would tease each other and enjoy enjoy the pastimes together. So, I am a servant, Lord Chaitanya, servant, Lord Chaitanya. I am a servant, Lord Chaitanya, and a servant of his servant. Saying this, Advaita Prabhu dances and loudly sings. Then at the next moment, he quietly sits down. The source of sentiment of servitude is indeed Lord Balaram. His plenary expansions who follow him are all influenced by that ecstasy. So even Balaram has the same mood of being a servant of Krishna. He's a servitor Lord. So the plenary expansions who follow him are all influenced by that. Lord Sankarasan, who is one of his incarnations, always considers himself a devotee. Another of his incarnation, Lakshman, who is very beautiful and opulent, always serves Lord Ram. So the Vishnu who lies on the casual ocean is an incarnation of Lord Sankarshan. And accordingly, the emotions of being a devotee is always pleasant in his heart. Advaita Acharya is a separate expansion of him. He always engages in devotional service with his thoughts, words, and actions. This is a really important verse. It's text 98. Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and all Krishna's through Bhagavan Same. That's what it says in the Bhagavatam. All others are his parts and partial incarnations. We find the whole and the part behave as superior and inferior. So even within Vishnu Tattva incarnations, there's superior and inferior. Krishna is superior, everybody else is inferior. The glories of Advaita Acharya are boundless, for his sincere vibrations brought about Chaitanya's descent upon this world. So this is why he's so important to us. Because if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hadn't come, this Prema Bhakti doesn't become available. But Mahaprabhu came and he made it, he opened up this treasure house of love of Godhead. So I wanted to stop there. Any comments, any questions, anything anybody wants to add about Lord Advaita Acharya?
Prabhu,
Yes.
yeah, I remember reading about when you said that Advaita Acharya was being mischievous when he was saying the opposite,
Mhm.
same thing that Lord Chaitanya wouldn't like. Is that when Lord Chaitanya started beating him up, then he was happy, say, "Oh, now like you're greater than me." Is it some?
Yeah. My life is successful, you will say.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I don't remember the exact. Yeah,
yeah, that's
and
correct.
also when they were having, they all went to take prasad at Advaita Acharya's Prabhu's
Mm,
house. Was it when he was throwing prasad at Advaita Acharya?
that's right.
Can't remember. Yeah.
Nityananda threw it.
Oh, Nityananda. Okay, sorry.
What
Yeah.
is this prasad? It's a morsel of food. He threw it at him, and Advaita hit him, and he was dancing in ecstasy. So yeah,
So
there.
why was he throwing prasad at Advaita Acharya?
Why? I think it's just the lila between them. They
Okay.
had that relationship. It was like teasing each other relationship.
Affectionate. Maybe they were very
Actually, yeah.
affectionate. Yeah. Okay.
And
Yes.
it wasn't serious at all. They were just joking around.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, even.
Yes, the thing is, when I think of Mahavishnu, at that
Hmm.
time I don't equate with Advaita Acharya.
Correct.
Should we be doing this? I don't know, because
Hmm.
I know he's an incarnation of
Hmm.
Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, but
Hmm.
when we think of the creation and everything that comes out of the Mahavishnu, at
Hmm.
that time as you say, I don't think of Advaita Acharya. So should we
No,
both in the
no,
same category?
no, you don't need to. You don't need to.
No, no.
No, because as you said, the functions are very different. Advaita Acharya, he didn't come to this world with that function in mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't when we see Advaita Acharya, we don't have to think that this is Mahavishnu. If we do, that's fine, but there's no requirement because he came in the mood of a devotee, actually. Yeah, yeah. So
His aim was to mainly to bring down
yes,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it? So that
yes,
we can equate, but okay then.
that's right. Yes, I agree. This
Thank
is
you.
just giving a little bit of a bit of background as to who he is, so that we don't minimize this personality,
No,
So
no.
yeah, but you're right. You don't have to. When you see him, you don't have to think of Mahavishnu. That's for sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, Hare
That's a
Krishna.
very good point, actually, Nariman. Very good point. Thank you. Okay, so we can stop there. Dvaitacharya ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.